The Worst Barney Home Video is a show created by passionate Barney fans for Barney fans. Our love and respect for the Barney franchise and the talented individuals who brought this groundbreaking show to life run deep. This series is not intended as a critique or disparagement of Barney, the creators, or the team behind the show. Instead, it's an opportunity for us to engage in lighthearted discussions and reflect on the home video outings we may not have enjoyed as much as others. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone involved in the creation of Barney, and we invite all of you to join us in this playful and nostalgic journey as we answer the question, what is the least popular Barney home video? This podcast has no affiliation with Mattel Incorporated.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Bro, oh my God, you turned that chicken up. Oh my God. I was not prepared for that. Oh man. That man munching down. Welcome everyone to part 7 of the Worst Barney Home Video series. A series, of course, where we determine, what was the most, what is really the most disliked Barney home video of, the certain eras throughout the years and whatnot. Of course, IMT Terrific tributes to my, I think you're right, my left, whatever. Now my left is Malakai. Up above me is Hedge on stage, and of course our wonderful host, producer, scuba diver, doctor, lawyer, financial advisor, Karan. Yeah. How you guys doing? I can't hear you.
All is well.
Karan, I think your mic's muted.
Yeah, your mic's muted.
No, it's just me. Second time I got you, Hedge. And actor, don't forget actor.
Yes.
Does my stuff look clear now, or is it still being weird?
You're bringing up just a little bit, but you're better than what you were before the stream.
Well, thank you. So are you.
That is Popeyes. Do you see how fat his thigh is?
I like how you put it in a to-go tray. That way you won't be promoting Popeyes.
No, I'm so ghetto because we were at church leaving and they had a big thing of Popeyes and they were like, "Oh, Malachi, get your plate. Come on in." I grabbed this, put my 2 thighs in here. I wasn't playing that. What y'all talking about?
Where'd he go?
Yeah, Karan was having some issues before the stream with his internet. Hopefully, he'll get that fixed.
I'm here, but I don't like how it looks on my laptop.
You think
it's going to be a little bit better?
It looks better to me, but I was trying to use the webcam. I don't know if that's the issue or what.
I was waiting to hear the crunch. I just knew that crunch was about to be crazy.
Oh man. As you can tell from my background, Hedge's background, and Karan, your background as well, we're all in new places. I moved back to my hometown not too long ago. Hedge, you moved to a new place.
So I'm not left out. Let me switch angles. As you can see, I'm in a new position.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'd say for the most part we're all doing well in life so far. Hope you all in the comments are doing well as well, whatever you might be doing with your life as well. Unfortunately, we're not doing any commentary tonight. But we are discussing another round of great home videos, if I do say so myself. So once again, it's going to be very hard to determine what is the worst of the bunch. But before that, we actually have a lot of topics. We complained not too long ago that how Mattel has sort of just given up on the relaunch, and there's not really anything new to discuss. But this week we had a lot of things. We had Barney voice actors actually come out with interviews and videos that we're going to discuss, not in grave detail or anything like that, as well as some other things that have been going on in the Barney community. Whether you want to think it's good or bad, to each his own, is up to you. But Karan, you just announced a new series you're doing here on your channel. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it later.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to make sure I got all my stuff working the way I want it to. So I might be like switching back and forth and such.
Okay, I see.
So talk about Dean's stupid video first, and then we'll get to my
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah. So like I said, 2 Barney voice actors came out this week with
Called it?
No.
It was Duncan Brandon, everybody.
No. Well,
Jonathan Langdon.
Oh, that was funny.
We'll get to Langdon later, but Dean Wendt, what was it, 2 days ago, yesterday?
Yeah, the voice of Barney for over 20 years, even longer than Bob.
Or so he thinks.
Well, he was, but no one cares about that fact.
Well, he posted a video on his YouTube channel. He has had certainly a very distinctive presence online lately. I don't know if that's his agent telling him to be a little bit more proactive with the whole social media boom, trying to promote his voiceover services. But
do you think he actually has an agent?
So what?
You think he actually has an agent?
Yeah. There was a time a few years ago when I started diving into voice acting. I was looking at different agencies, and his name came up a lot in certain ones, because as a freelancer, you can have any agent that you want. Yeah. Multiple ones, So yeah, for better or for worse, he is finally coming out and telling his story about his time on the show, albeit in very minute points. But yesterday, he posted a video on his YouTube, of which I believe he's starting this new series to help, inspire voiceover artists and whatnot. And basically, the video was him briefly touching on how he got the role, what his first job was, and other stuff. Let's get the elephant out of the room first before I'll let you say what you need to say. Dean was, like you said, on the show for a very long time. He was in that studio a very long time. Granted, he was in a booth. However, I have seen photos where he and other people outside of the stage set did visit from time to time the actual set, just depending on meetings and stuff like that. How productions go. This man took a image of the caboose in the park and had an AI expand it to fit his whatever software he was using to record his video.
And that's problem number 2, because the thumbnail he used is an AI enhanced photo of the most overused Barney in the park era photo that's readily available. And instead of just using that, he enhanced it for whatever reason with AI, so you can just tell that it's not the original picture, which makes zero sense.
He didn't enhance it; he expanded it. So
that's for his background on the video itself. I'm talking about the
thumbnail. You're talking about the thumbnail. Okay,
where it's him and then it's Barney.
Yeah,
you could have just used the regular photo, and instead you took it and you had AI mess with it for whatever reason.
But do you think he did that? Do you think he did that to circumvent having to edit a photo because he doesn't know how to edit photos? I imagine there's probably a site that lets you edit YouTube thumbnails with an AI thing. I feel like that's probably what happened. Because you're right, like it literally doesn't make sense to not just use the photo that's already there.
I have a suggestion.
But even like you don't even have to edit it because he was just putting the photo on the side with his picture. So you didn't even have to. He didn't even.
I'm just wondering if he used an AI program to make the whole thumbnail entirely.
Not even
you know what
that.
we should do?
If you, not even that. If you want people to draw into your videos, make the thumbnails the photos that people have never seen before. I would assume that he has at least a good amount of pictures that no one has seen that he can use as that thumbnail.
Yeah.
Do that.
Someone said I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. Good.
I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see what some of the people, we didn't acknowledge our comment section at all today. So I want to go back first and see what people were saying before we started this conversation and then see what they are saying about this conversation. Just so we can acknowledge them. Orion's in here today. He says he's joining in on the fun. What's up, bro? Excited to see what shenanigans the Barney history crew got this time. Anthony's here, of course, our usual suspects. Jaden says, hey, y'all. Come on in.
Come on in.
To Barney's house. What else here? I'm guessing Barney's house to be the worst. That's an interesting guess. Trevor.
That's not true.
Oh, wow. That's
Q Malakai snacking on healthy food, but it's Popeyes, so it's not healthy.
Actually,
Tyson.
I didn't even get my Popeyes, bro. I was stuck in the line for 10 minutes at the drive-thru and I was just like, man, never mind. I left, bro.
Dang.
So I'm stuck with chicken tenders from a place called Hardee's. Are you guys familiar with this?
A place called Hardee's.
And they're the dummest looking. Well, sometimes you don't have the same place.
That's true. That's true.
They're the dumbest looking chicken tenders ever. It's like half of a chicken tender.
It looks
like, bro, what is it? Could have just gotten nuggets. Anyway, let's see.
Tyson, I'm gonna touch on that when we get to that.
Kron, is that a fire alarm on top next to your shelf? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yo.
Are you yelling at people outside your apartment?
Yeah, my neighbors constantly like stomp around their apartment. I'm like, dude, shut up.
Yo. Anthony says new Dean Lord dropped. Now why we got to use AI when Canva and Photoshop exist? They do. The downside about it though is Canva and Photoshop both are embedded with AI now also. So you can still enhance your photos and stuff with AI inside those apps. Yeah, Rockin' with Dan said, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. That's because instead of just uploading this video to the one he already had with like 7 videos, he decided he needed to make a new one. I'm sure AI generated content is pushing its way to the top of the algorithm anyways, so he gets more views that way. I'm sure he does. Before we get to the rest of the comments, I want to mention one thing that bothered me about his video is he talks about how AI has no place in, or how it will never overtake or replace authentic voice artists, which is 100% true. But it's a contradiction when you're saying your profession is no place for AI to exist while you're using AI in place of a regular photographer or someone who can help create your thumbnails and backgrounds. So that bothered me because it's like you're saying, okay, AI is a bad thing if it's going to take my job, but as long as it takes anyone else's job, it's fine.
You know what? We might as well do this now because I'm.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
I was so close to making a video because you're right, and Tyson mentioned it too. Barney does in the comments a second ago. What I don't understand, if anyone has seen that Dean video, he mentions Bob a few different times very early on.
Yep.
He starts by saying, you know, I'm the voice of Barney. I've been doing Barney longer than anyone else, especially, did he say especially Bob or including Bob?
No, including Bob. Especially would it sound too much like what he was doing.
Right.
That's the
including Bob makes it almost sound like he's not throwing a shot.
Right. So
that's the equivalent of I'm so proud of my family, including Randy or Jermaine, whatever he said.
Yeah. including Jermaine. So his whole thing is beating into your head that he's been doing it longer than the other person that you know of most and probably prefer over him. Yeah, and we talked, the guys and I have talked about this. He doesn't seem to remember anything that he did as Barney outside of the fact that Selena and Demi were on his show.
And it's the most irritating thing.
Right. And he has to look up stuff about himself to be able to tell you the things that he's done as Barney. And he's using AI in his thumbnails and talking about how it's not going to replace voice actors. Meanwhile, the person that he's like low-key slighting is a graphic designer who was working with the Muppets this year and last year on different things. He's an artist. And so you can say that and be like, well, then we're going to replace voice actors, whatever. I'm going to use AI in my thumbnail. But yet the moment that someone uses an AI prompt with your voice, instead of getting you to actually do it in their videos, and they're like, hey, look, Dean, AI can do your voice. Now you'd have a problem with it. So it doesn't, you don't have a problem with AI just using it to create art and stuff. But the moment they encroach on your profession, now it's a problem. That doesn't work that way. It has to be all encompassing. It does not work that way.
For sure.
And Jason that is something, of course, that's one part of like a multitude of problems with that, but that is something that also bothered me as well.
Yeah. Jason says, I saw Hedge's Instagram story from today or maybe another day. I like how you mentioned about the AI images that are coming up about the past Barney Kids cast.
Yes.
That needs to be stopped.
God. It's weird. Well,
yeah, there's a very weird thing happening right now where we have grown men who are fantasizing over children from a TV show, so much so that they're generating AI images of themselves with said kids as a grown man with young children, or they're putting these mash compilations of kids together and fantasizing and drooling over them. It's all very weird. I also, I get the same ick feeling with that I do every time I see a Dean Wendt video, which is kind of a stretch, but not really, because every time he makes a video of remember this from Barney, it's always Selena and Demi. And it's gotten to the point now, someone said it right here, the way that he mentions Selena and Demi all the time is extremely weird. Because it's like, bro, we know that they were on the show, but one, you had no hand in them becoming who they became. Just because they started with Barney means nothing. Like their parents pushed them into other auditions and things, and and they just happened to be talented, so they blew up from that. So you don't have a hand in that. But then also, like, I can see how it's like, hey, we were on this show together, this is their breakout moment, but to only use that as the only way that you make a presence on social media, and the other time is you subbing Bob West, is like, it's all just super, super weird.
Which makes it super gross. Because had Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato not been on Barney, he literally would remember nothing that happened on that show.
Nothing.
Not only that.
That was his first days. So it's like there's so much happened after that, and you always talk about the first 2 seasons of the show that you started on.
Comment so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, it was
not only everything that you guys are talking about. We didn't learn anything new that we didn't know before. He did not go in depth about how he auditioned for the role or how he learned about it.
He doesn't know anything else.
What annoys me too is I think it was Hedge and I who figured this out, or maybe it was someone else within our groups. But I can't remember what the kid played. I think he played Daniel. The kid who played Daniel in seasons 11 and 12 commented under his post one day and said, hey, I was on Barney with you. And this man responds and says, congratulations. That tells me, one, you don't even remember this kid. And he's closer to the time you stopped the series than Selena and Demi are. And you tell him congratulations as if he's saying like he auditioned for the show or something. He was on the show with you.
It's on the show.
What do you mean?
I just remember something. On the Purple Rose podcast, Jeff Ayers revealed that while they were filming Great Adventure, the director demanded that both the voice actors and body actors attend table readings, right? Which he stated that on the show, body actors never did table readings. They would just go into recordings cold. Not they would like read over the script or whatever, like what's going on and take the direction, but they never attended table readings. It was only a voice actor and kid actor thing. So you spent so much time in that presumably like office building or conference room doing these table reads. Sure, they switch kids in and out, here and there. Why would you say that to someone who's like, hey, I remember you, I was on the show with you?
Yeah, that's I don't know. It's so and kind of in his defense, Daniel was in like 4 episodes, I think. 3 of them were full-length episodes in season 12, and then he was like a cameo kid in season 11. But still,
he didn't even ask though, like, what episodes were you on? Like, what did you do?
Or who did you play? But also, Bob West, and he's always trying to compare himself to him in a like roundabout way. Bob West remembers all the kids he acted with. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like enough to know that, we were on the same show together. So it's like, how do you not remember these kids? You're constantly going, I was on the show the longest, but you don't remember these children that you spent time with. It's not like they came in and shot a scene in an hour and left. Like you spent time with these kids for weeks working on one episode. Or, they took a whole week doing one episode. And if you've done multiple episodes with this kid, how do you not remember them? Like, congratulations.
This is a bit of a stretch, but I feel like Dean wants people to remember his time, like you said earlier, from the early years, rather than when the show was, on its last leg. Because scripts were changing. Higher ups were, demanding certain things that, ultimately killed the show. So I would assume that in his mind, he just wants to kind of block that sort of, memory from anyone recalling, the events of Barney and Friends, which again, that's a bit of a stretch. But however, if you're going around stating that you were the voice of Barney longer than anyone ever, talk about just things that were more enticing than just Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato. Yes, they're celebrities. Yes, they were, that show essentially, pushed them into, the stars that they are today. You didn't. You were in a booth somewhere while they were actually on the set with the real thing.
And it shows that had they not gone to be Disney Channel stars, he wouldn't remember who they are. He would be like, congratulations.
Yeah. Isn't Daniel on like a Netflix movie or TV show?
Who?
The kid who played Daniel.
No, the kid who played Josh was. But that's my problem, and that's my problem with anybody who talks about Barney from the Park era, Carrie included, is they're always talking about Selena and Demi. But you had Hayden, who went off to be a pretty decent and successful actress. You have, I can't remember his name, the kid who played Josh, who was the star of this Netflix series. You had the kid who played Jackson, went off to do so many things. Now he does.
Yeah.
You have there's so many kids that came through that show that also, they're not these mega pop stars and they didn't date Justin Bieber or like all of that, but they still went off and were successful. And every time we talk about Barney, we have to talk about Selena and Demi. And so it's so irritating. It's as irritating as every time Dean decides he wants to make a video, it's always reminding us that he was the voice the longest. Not the most popular voice, just that he was the voice the longest. And it's like, okay, so what? And this is a good point right here to highlight, because Isaiah commented on that video and asked him something specific that we've all been trying to figure out since the very beginning. And he has not even responded to the comment or even to Hedge's comment talking about the AI thing, which I'm pretty sure he won't. But the thing is,
go to the video and look at the comments, see what comments are there. And I could have gone.
There's like 2.
I could have gone so much harder and I didn't. Look. I really don't like talking about hit and it's always something negative or bad, because then it looks, because I grew up with Lions lyric, whatever. Now I'm the person that doesn't like it. But it's things like this where it almost forces me to, because Dean, bless his heart, he's coming into this with the wrong. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? He's always talking about how he has done this the longest. And I'm not saying he's doing this intentionally, but you can tell it comes from something. It comes from some kind of malice. Bob has been doing this for so long. He does a stream every Sunday. He goes to conventions. He's signing autographs. He's doing all these events and everything. He's talking to fans. He's giving his memories. He's talking about all these things that he has done as Barney. He's been here a long time doing this. Dean will post something every however long, every few months, maybe once a year. I don't know. But you can tell that he wants the same level of attention that Bob is getting right now. But Bob had to work to get that. You see what I mean? Bob has been here for a few years doing this stuff, but he's been doing this stuff for a few years. Every time you see Dean, it's like you've seen him once, like a year. And he's doing this where he's like, oh, yeah, I've been doing this the longest, this, that, and the third. And it's like, what does that mean to someone that grew up with the show? Like, they just see you as a voice of, they don't see you as the voice, they see you as a voice of Barney. And I was telling somebody, it doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 50 years, 100 years. If someone doesn't like your voice, they still are not going to like your voice. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. So you can't come in and say, well, you know, the challenge wasn't to be like Bob. It was just to be unique, just to be different. Okay, that's fine. But like, that's not going to change how people feel about your voice. There are people that have grown up with your voice in the 2000s. It doesn't matter, like people that grew up in the 90s, they remember Bob, sure. But now we're entering this age where the year 2000 was 26 years ago. The year 2004 was 22 years ago. There are people that are adults right now that remember you. Go after them for that nostalgia. Don't go after the people that don't like your voice. They don't care anymore.
Yeah, don't try to steal Bob's audience.
Video and you're like just preaching all these accolades. You don't need to do that. Just be who you are. And I've said this before. All we need is a Bob and Dean collab. That's all we need. Something like that. We need the Barney voices together. Not, oh, I did this longer than you. Bob doesn't need to do that. What did Michael Jackson say? He said, I don't tear down other artists. Great artists don't do that. It's the same thing. Bob has never torn down anyone that is in the same profession as him. Unless I'm wrong, but I've never seen him do it.
No, even when they deserved it.
Right.
Let's be honest. Yeah. There's been a couple people that deserved for him to not be celebrating them, and he chose to do that anyway. So I think we need to move on for one. But I think the best way to end this piece is obviously there's a respect for Dean and the work that he did as Barney. No one's negating the fact that he was Barney's voice the longest. No one's negating the fact that he was on screen with Selena and Demi. No one's negating the fact of any of those things. All we're saying is every time you make a video, you don't have to remind us that you were the longest, even longer than Bob. We know that. And the fact that you always have to say that, it becomes, you're kind of beating a dead horse for one, because you're talking to the exact audience who already knows these facts. Right. And then two, you're making videos saying this is the story of how I became this thing, and you tell us nothing new. We know all of this already. And that tells you something, because we haven't learned it from you. We know your entire beginning story, and it's not from you. Maybe a few pieces from rare interviews he's done, but a lot of it is from other people telling his story. So if you're going to come out and you're going to make a big deal about creating this YouTube page, and you're going to make a big deal about making your presence on social media and all these things, then share with us something new. Engage with the fans, and stop acting like they don't exist. You can see their comments. You can see people commenting on your Instagram pages and everything, and you act like they don't exist. And you want us to then celebrate you and herald you as the best Barney just because you were Barney the longest. You can't ever be the best because Bob was the best. And unfortunately, the one thing that stuck out to me is, I love Dean. I didn't care about the voice change, but the thing that stuck out to me with his video outside of the AI stuff is he going, the job wasn't to come in and be Bob. It was to come in and be genuine and authentic. And it's like, okay, well, Bob was that to a T. So the fact that you decided to deviate from that is why your performance started going downhill. Because when you came in and you tried to follow the trail that Bob had left behind, people said that's your best years. The minute you tried to make it your own, it started falling apart.
Yeah, the
So
job was to be the character. It was pre-established what the character sounds like.
yeah, you didn't make
Nobody
that.
told
Yeah.
you, hey, be Bob.
hmm
No, like what made Tim great for his brief time was that he was able to replicate what Bob did, but also somewhat do his own thing, right?
Yeah.
He followed the script, he followed the voice pattern, he got the voice to a T for the most part. Same with
Mhm.
Duncan. Same with the other person who did the big surprise stuff, whatever the tape ran out, whatever. Like they knew what the character was.
Hold on. That man sucks.
With you-
David Franks is terrible. Give me Dean anytime above David Franks, but I understand
you know what I'm
what you're
saying. Like at least
Yes.
he's not,
They all stayed in. Even as much as we bash Barney's world, largely what Jonathan did, even though the voice was significantly different, was also that same
Cadence.
blueprint
Yes.
that Bob laid for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So even then, people followed it. And again, Dean didn't do a terrible job. But the fact is, you came in and people were off put by it. You came in, some people just don't like your voice. It doesn't matter how many times you say you've done it the longest. And you keep acting like these other people don't exist or that you're better than them. And you didn't even go to Carrie's podcast and you guys worked together the longest. Like you don't even go to these platforms where your friends are like Carrie makes sure that we all know all the time that they're close and they still talk, but you didn't go to your friend's podcast or platform and tell your story. You gave us a 6-minute video of nothing new with AI generated content and subbed Bob twice, which got you no new fans. More people just said, you know what? Actually, I do like Bob more. And so it did nothing for you. So like, let's
not to mention in the documentary, he barely said a word. The center focus on Barney specifically was Bob.
We never saw him again.
The center focus was Bob and David Joyner. And then when Andrew goes, well, when those two left, then they brought in, Dean and Carrie. And like I said, their story just practically didn't matter.
Yeah.
For the story they were trying to tell.
I had a theory, and then we'll move on from this. I had a theory that, and I told Hedge this, I think it was Sam, Barney Millennium, is that I think that my conspiracy belief is that there is some weird vendetta out against all of the classic Barney people. Dean with Bob, Carrie with David, because if you guys remember from that documentary, the lady who was exploiting Cheryl's entire family, who was the babysitter, talking about how terrible Cheryl's son was and all these things and how it's not surprising that he would do that. She's Dean's wife.
Dean's wife, yeah. And
these two seem to always have something against the classic era of people that literally gave you the jobs you have. You see what I'm saying? And so that's my that's my conspiracy theory, that for some reason they have something against the rest of these people, and it's not a coincidence that they're married to each other. And every time you turn around, Dean doesn't outright exploit people, but he has those sub shots that he wants to throw where he doesn't directly say what he's trying to say, but we can pick up on it. And I think that's the problem. But maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I appreciate Dean for the work that he did. No one is discrediting him for that. It's just, if you're going to come into, if you're going to make a presence online, all of us have been going, man, we want to hear from Dean, whether we liked his voice or not. I liked his voice, but there's people who didn't, but they still said, man, we want to hear Dean's story. So now you're finally coming out and you're doing that. Act like you understand that we're here, and act like you want to engage with us, and not like you're on this pedestal that no one can touch you and you're just better than everybody else, because that's not going to get you far with any engagement. And just revel in the fact that you were the voice for the longest, and that there's people who do care about you, and you're responsible for an entire generation of children who are now adults, and Mattel's still using your work. Revel in that fact, and then connect with these other people who are part of this series, and stop acting like you guys aren't allowed to cross over. And we just saw Duncan and David at a Comic-Con, which was super cool. We see Josh Martin and Bob at cons and stuff all the time. It's like, get involved with these people that look exactly like him. Get involved with these people, and actually tell your stories, and stop acting like you have to be hidden in these boxes. And I think it'll be well received far more than whatever this stuff is.
Take any Bob West social media clip and then a Dean Wendt social media clip and play them back to back and see how they change. Bob will go, "Hey everyone, I'm the voice of Barney the dinosaur," and then he'll go into a spiel. Dean Wendt, "Hey everyone, I was the voice of Barney the dinosaur. I've done it longer than anyone else, including Bob." That's what every single one of them is. Just he needs to go at it from a different mindset. I don't have anything against Dean's voice as Barney. Just like you, it's just you can tell when he's going at it with a certain not vendetta. Vendetta is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Like he's going at it for a reason, because he's trying to beat it into people's heads that this is what I am, as if it even matters. Yeah, the voice of Barney.
Yeah,
that's all that no one cares about anything else.
Yeah,
and to give the benefit of the doubt, I don't fully think that he might think all of these things. Like I don't fully believe that he might think like I'm the best or those kind of things. But the fact that you hid from social media for so long and now you're trying to re-enter into that space, it starts to come off that way just by the things that you're saying and the things that you're doing. I don't know. I love the guy. I appreciate everything that he's done. I just want to see something better come from that. And especially if there's no place for AI in your field of work, there shouldn't be a place for AI in anyone else's either. So
yeah,
that's the last thing I have to say about it. What else we got to talk about, Kalen?
Well, on the flip side, kind of staying somewhat on that subject, talking about the most recent voice of Barney, whether you like him or not, I do want this to be more of a respectful topic, especially you people in the comments.
I actually don't know.
So Jonathan Langdon, the voice of Barney.
By the way, Big Purple 88 is a liar.
Yeah, whatever.
He's just trying to rage bait us.
So Jonathan Langdon gave an interview not too long ago. I want to say like a week ago.
Week ago.
Oh, don't get me started. I will see my song bar for bar.
Man, you was tearing it down for your birthday.
So the interview was basically about him. He mostly it felt like it was a flip, like he was the interviewer and the interviewer was the interviewee. All right. But yes, Jonathan Langdon gave an interview recently. He did talk about Barney. For the most part, it looked like he was a little not scared, but at ease of like talking about it. I don't know if he's apprehensive, because I don't know if he's still on a contract. I don't know if he knows that they're making another. Who knows? But he did talk about stuff that we have not learned, much more than what Dean talked about in his video. So basically, he kind of went in depth about the audition process, how Mattel actually auditioned over 1,000 Canadian voice actors, and they picked him. Unlike Dean, Jonathan actually gave much high praise and credit to Bob West. He did also say that originally for his audition, he did put on the traditional Barney voice. And as it sounded more like a parody. Well, some might say like his voice may be a parody anyway, but the way he explained it, and this is what I've been saying from the beginning, when we first, saw the leaked episode and, heard what his voice sounded like, right? It's very much, and he did somewhat confirm it, that this was the studio and Mattel's wishes or demands that he did not do the traditional Barney voice. From what he described, it was essentially, we want to still keep it in that vein, but yeah, exactly. So we don't want you to sound specifically like Bob. We just wanted to sound like Barney, but for the new school, is how he said it. That very much kind of puts into context where Mattel's mindset was when relaunching the brand and developing the series. Are y'all asleep?
No.
Might as well be.
Barney's real bad sleep.
The way that said, oh,
no, like I feel for the guy. I like. I think the majority of why people don't like that voice, they always point at him, and it's very, very, very frustrating as a voiceover artist. Malakai, you can attest to this since you're kind of starting. It's very frustrating when people come out and say that voice was terrible, or I wouldn't have done it that way, or yada 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 yada, knowing that we're at the behest of the studio or the casting director or the marketers, the advertisers. You know, we don't have any control over that or any control of what they want us to do. It's basically what they tell us to do. We put it out there, and then we get crapped on for the work that we put in. You know, he seems like a good guy. He seems like a very humble guy. Of course, you know, with anything, he, you know, basically stated that, you know, he loved performing. You know, it was an honor to become, you know, one of the most, you know, highly recognized children's characters of all time. Yeah, like I said, it's just very frustrating to me personally, just me being a voiceover artist, knowing that a lot of people within that space get shitted on essentially by, you know, just randos because it's not what they want, or it's not how they were originally perceived what the character or project should be. But yeah, it's just, again, I don't blame him. I don't mind the voice. It fits for their incarnation or whatever for that show. I understand why, you know, a lot of people, you know, within the space were like, oh, it sucks, yada, 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 yada. However, again, it's a job for him at the end of the day. And with any job, if you don't do what your boss or, you know, your director says, consequences, right? Termination, blacklisting, especially in the entertainment field. I'm sure you guys didn't watch the, you know, interview, but, you know, just based on what I said, you know, what do you guys think about that?
I think for one, the reason why Jonathan will always get flack for his Barney performance is the same reason why Dean does as well. And it's because they came in after a character had been established for a decade. And it was the beginning steps of that character. So everything that solidified to make that character what it is had a very specific sound and style to it. And when you bring anyone in to take over that and they completely deviate, whether it's their choice or not, from what that is, being the artist that has to bring that to life, you're going to get the flack for that regardless. So it doesn't matter. 20 years from now, no one's going to turn around and be like, you know what, Jonathan was one of the best voices. There's still going to be a group of people going, that's not the Barney that I'm used to. That doesn't sound like Barney. The same thing happens with Dean. Even though they're going to be responsible for their own generation of kids, they're still going to be met with that because these are established characters, not brand new characters. But on top of that, Mattel seems very much way too involved in artistry. And that is the problem that I have with them. They're not a film company. They're not a TV company. They're a toy company. And now they're coming in to these other avenues. And instead of what seems like they're avoiding getting people who are actual professionals in those lanes, they're trying to do it themselves. And so they're interfering with the work that an artist knows how to do. You're casting these people because they know how to do the work. So giving them a box to put them in, especially for a character like Barney, where you're explicitly making sure that they're doing everything opposite of what that character is not going to ever be a good recipe. I don't know this for a fact. I assume that's why Corey's Barney sucks, right? It's not because Corey doesn't do the voice well enough. Even the guy who's in the suit, it's not because they can't do it, because the guy in the suit came from mascot character background performing. Corey didn't do a lot of Barney things before he started, but he did voices and impersonations of these very well-known Looney Tune characters who was great at what they did. What?
Yeah. I have to address something that someone just said. I did not say that at all. What I said, somebody's accusing me of saying that I think Jonathan is a terrible voice actor. I did not say that whatsoever. I'm saying it was at the behest of Mattel, Nelvana, whoever produced Barney's World. They told him what they wanted from him, He gave them something. They approved.
Mm.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But yeah, all I'm saying is I think that when you get people who come in and they put a box around an artist, the art is always going to suffer from that. And we're seeing that a lot with Mattel. And I don't want to leave my statement off of saying that's why Corey's Barney sucks. I want to reiterate. I want to explain what I mean by that. We've heard Corey's voice. He's not a terrible voice. A lot of us are not upset with Corey. We're upset with Mattel and their choice of, slighting Bob. That has nothing to do with the person who got the job. Their performance also has nothing to do with them. It seems like Mattel has their hands too involved in things to make these characters that are already established not be the characters that we know them to be, but they also want us to gravitate to them. And anytime that happens, it doesn't matter who becomes to do the. If they would have, I'm kind of glad because it seems like if they would have gotten Bob to do the voice, either we still would not have Bob as Barney because he would have been like, man, nah, forget this. Especially if you're trying to put him into a box of a character he already knows, or he would have been doing a job similar to what Corey is doing or Jonathan is doing, which does not feel like Barney, even if it is Barney's voice. You know what I mean? So that's the issue.
Mattel is puppeting Barney around as if they created him and not that they bought him from someone else. And trying to make it seem like they can do him better than what he was at his peak when they don't know anything about how Barney moves, acts, or is about.
Yeah,
that is my main problem. You look at any clip of Barney now doing commercials for Walmart or Booking.com. That's not the same. That's not the same Barney that we grew up with. That is a shell that is being used to advertise things that Barney would never advertise. Barney would never hold up a plush of himself and be like, I cannot wait to buy this. Barney would never do that. What are you talking about? And then
the one that doesn't look like the suit, like why would
him at all? It's just like Tyson just said, it's a corporate puppet. That's what it feels like. It's not Barney.
Well,
you
to your point,
episode of seasons 4 through 6, and then look at one of these commercials that is not the same. That is not Barney.
Well, to your point, this was always going to be a struggle to begin with because this was their first time relaunching a brand that was originally a live action puppet show in the grand scheme of things, right? This is the first time they're handling stuff like that. We all knew, when they first announced the relaunch and, they first announced the emotional unavailable line and whatnot, and they brought out that Barney suit and everybody went, what is that? Right? Because they're not like a costume shop like Irene Corey or, Sesame Creature Shop or anything like that. Or I'm sorry, Jim Henson's Creature Shop. They essentially just pulled it out. Nobody's going to notice because it's Barney. Like everybody loves Barney. But then you have people like us who are like, no, this has to be better. Fix whatever's wrong with the costume. Give Corey some actual like good direction. Stop making him this, like you said, corporate husk or just, mascot for your company and actually let the character be the thing that people remind us of. That's what nostalgia is all about. We've been talking about Michael Jackson for the past 3 months now because of this movie. The movie.
One of us.
Okay. The movie, the Michael Jackson estate planned this out perfectly. Their whole idea was, let's get Michael Jackson back in the forefront of people's minds with this movie. Now his streaming, numbers for, all of his classic music is back on top, right? Memorabilia is flying off the shelves. People saw the movie 7, 8, 9, 10 times, not only now in digital, but in the theater as well. Like stuff like that. That's what we want. If you're going to pander to nostalgia and the past and what people, remember and believe in, do it right. Try to get it right the first time, or, eventually kind of work yourself into a better situation. But again, I don't blame Jonathan. I think it's just at the behest of
that man just getting his check.
Yeah, he's just getting his check. Right.
Yes.
You can tell he has a passion for voiceover. He has a passion for acting. And I'm sure he's incredibly honored and incredibly grateful to secure a role on the level of
a way to end this one and move on is, even though he's just getting a check, the fact is he is the star of that, right?
yes.
So at the end of the day, he's going to be the first person in the crossfires for anything because he's the person that is doing that character. So, and that goes for anybody. There's you guys have had that situation where you watch a video, a movie, or a TV show or something, and the actor has played that character so well that you start to hate that person, or you fall in love with that person and their portrayal or whatever it is. That's what this is. Whether you're doing a good job or a bad job, the fact is you're the actor that we're hearing or the actor that we're seeing. You have to take the flack because no one else has anybody else. They don't know the producer behind the show. They don't have their name or their face, or name or your voice and your face. And so if they don't like something, they're going to come to you and tell you that. If they do like it, they're going to come to you and tell you that. And that's part of being in show business that you can't take personal and that's kind of what Dean is kind of doing, is taking it personally when you really can't. You just have to kind of, roll with the punches and do your job, and then know that people are going to like it, people are not going to like it, and you can't really control that.
Yeah. Again, shout out to Jonathan. It's not, to me, it's not.
There's no shout out to Jonathan unless he comes on this podcast. But as long as he avoids us like all the rest of them in the Barney community does, there's no shout outs.
No, he also said that he is the voice of the Barney's World toys and merch. I don't believe that.
Nope. It sounds just like the person on those terrible Spotify and Apple Music things.
Yeah. Moving on. Very quickly, we lost someone within the music industry. Peebo Bryson. For those who don't know,
what'd you call him?
Is it Peebo or
it's Peebo?
Peebo.
Two O's make a ooh sound, bro.
That man no got no you. That man no got no.
That man said Peebo Bryson. Peebo Bryson for us to mention this on this podcast for a week and don't even know the man's name.
Oh God. Okay.
I just put 200 on my Peebo.
Peebo Bryson unfortunately passed away about 2 weeks ago. For those who don't know, he sung the end credit song for Disney's Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, but also he provided 2 tracks for the Barney's Great Adventure soundtrack, that being a cover, like a loungy jazz cover of If All the Raindrops and Dream, Twinkins Tune, which is essentially the song dedicated to the character from the movie. Karan, I know you covered it. That's one of my favorite songs. I know that's one of your favorite songs. It didn't. The death did kind of hit, but also I'm starting to learn somewhat of his catalog outside of like the movie stuff he's done. He was a phenomenal voice, he had a very powerful just presence, whatever song that he did live or in a studio or anything. But yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance, go listen to both of those songs on the Barney's Great Adventure soundtrack. Y'all laughing at a man's death. That's crazy.
No. That's not what we're laughing at.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's funny.
Anyway, let's see here. Billa says, I wonder why the actors avoid y'all. I have a theory about that. I think some of the actors got bullied bad, so they're probably trying to avoid any criticism or talks of critiques. It's because we're black. Is what we're going with. We don't know that for a fact, but and I don't want to get into it on here. I talked about it on my Twitch stream the other night. You have to catch me on one of those if you really want my cutthroat opinion on it. I do think that it has something to do with the fact that we're black. I do think that there's some other ulterior things there, and maybe one of them is the fact that we don't just glaze these people. We appreciate the work that they did, but we also are fans enough to say these are some things we didn't like. And if you come on a podcast like ours, we want to talk about real things. We don't want to talk about all that sugarcoating stuff that they do on every podcast. I don't want to talk to you about Imagination Island. I don't want to talk to you about your foot in a bucket in New York City. I want to talk to you about real things. Why didn't you take advice from people who did the job exceptionally well? You know, why did you leave the show and then blame it on a car, right? These are questions that people actually want to know. And so that might be off-putting to them a little bit, but I do think that it has something to do with who we are, how we look. We don't have any proof of that, obviously, but that's kind of what I feel. And because it's happened too many times. Even the people who look like us, David Joyner literally laughed at me when I asked him for an interview. But they'll go do an interview with a bunch of other random people, but they ignore our requests. There's been kid cast members who has said they'll do interviews and they then stop responding. There's been other voice actors, body actors. You know, Carrie turned me down to do Spots of Love, even though I did his podcast 3 times for him. So there's all these weird things that happens, and maybe it is that we're so vocal. I think that if that's the case, they misunderstand what we're doing here. We're obviously not here to disparage. That's why we have to put that stupid disclaimer at the beginning. We're not here to trash the show. We're here to enjoy that we like the show, and there's things that we think could have been better or weren't so great, and that's what this whole purpose is. And we're not going to change that. So if that means that these people don't want to come talk to us, then it is what it is. But we're going to continue getting interviews. Doesn't matter if it's Jakey doing the interview or if it's some other random obscure person who just started a podcast doing the interview. All we're going to get is the same stories. What it was like on New York and live in New York City. What was Imagination Island like? What was Land of Make Believe like? What was it like making music? And those are things we already know. So it's never going to be anything new. And if they keep avoiding certain people, but you know,
it also shows
I don't want to touch too much on it, but I've had people a few different times ask me to interview people from the Barney production crew. And I actually took a screenshot a couple of days ago of a chat that I've had with a former Barney cast member that I've been trying to get an interview with for the past 3 years that I wish I could just post. But it's a screenshot that illustrates the exact kind of problems that have come from even just trying to talk to a Barney cast member as a content creator. For whatever reason, they don't want to engage with, I don't know what you guys are looking at right now, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to engage with any kind of media presence, even if they agree to it beforehand. I've asked this person a few different times over the past 3 years, hey, do you want to do an interview? Great. Yeah. What time are you thinking? And then I give them a time. Or then I ask them, what time works best for you? And I hear nothing. Nothing at all. And I've done this 3 times.
That's such a
that's just one. I've asked like 4 different people. And like in the grand scheme of things, wow, let me try it again. In the grand scheme of things, for me, it doesn't matter too much just because I'm not an interview person. It's just a cool thing that I think would help when it comes to getting stories out that we haven't heard before. But when this is a common pattern, only with Barney, something weird is going on. There's got to be some kind of common denominator that I don't know, but like something strange is happening.
I think it might be a common denominator because I also tried to get someone from the Barney space, someone who no one would want to begin with, right? Someone who provided the new music for Barney's World. I came into contact with. She agreed. We had a set planned date. I talked to the guys here. They said yes. And the day of, I asked her, hey, are you still down? It's still going to be this time, this, that, and the third. Crickets. I get a response maybe 3 days later of what she says. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not on this app. I hit her up on Instagram. She was like, I'm not on Instagram all that often. Can we pick another day? I said, sure. Here's another time that we do the podcast. Great. I'll be there. Hey, here's the link. Can we still expect you? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what it is. And someone keeps, people are asking, like, do you think it's because of the Barney hate? I don't think it's that, because Barney hate existed. So if it was because of the Barney hate, they wanted to avoid interviews, they wouldn't avoid interviews only with us. They would avoid interviews across the board, but they don't do that.
They don't.
I don't. We're sitting here talking about this, and to me, it's sounding like, it's coming off like we sound bitter about it, and we're not. We just don't ever mention it, but it's a very real thing that we consistently deal with, and we don't understand the answer to it.
Put it this way: if you have like a friend that you've known for a long time, and you're like, hey, you want to go hang out tomorrow or the day after, and they're like, great, and then they just don't show up, but then don't give you a reason why, and that happens over and over and over again, you're gonna feel some kind of way, regardless of if you're interested in this event heavily or not. You're gonna be like, well, what's going on? It's that kind of thing.
Or we just want add on to that, if you saw them with somebody, like they were actively posting them with somebody else, the same plans that they told you that they were going to do with you, that looks crazy.
Or so, I'll take it a step further. Say that you constantly do something, and one of your friends or someone who is a mutual friend of yours sees that you're doing something and hits up one of your other friends and says, hey, I saw you with these people, keep doing a good job or whatever. It's like, man, okay, if you're just trying to get through the through line of acknowledging that there is a space for, Barney content creators and whatnot, because how many people are actually doing this sort of thing with preschool entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
If they are, it's not at the level of what we do. So to have like, these production members and whatnot, and like you said, I don't want to sound bitter, but it's just so frustrating to me where, others who may not have, the biggest following in the world or the biggest, platform or the biggest software to, do these things, to whatever. And they just, actively, what seems like actively avoid us. It's just mildly frustrating to me.
Yeah. Bella says, I don't think you're bitter. I was just saying because maybe critiques are something to them. My fault. You didn't offend anybody. I want to say, and then we can move on from this too. Anthony says that exact hypothetical hedge has been happening to me recently, and it's the worst. I want to say two things. One, I reached out to the producer of the Latin America's version of Barney's World, who oversaw the voice actors. And I also reached out to Bryn McCauley, who was the voice of Baby Bop on Barney's World. Both of them agreed to do interviews with me. Bryn had to step back because Mattel, I think, told her she couldn't after a while, but immediately they both said yes. I talk to Bryn every now and then. And she's really grateful for, the support and things like that. But I've reached out to countless people from the classic era of Barney who has either not responded to me, but I know have read the message, told me straight up no, or like I constantly say, Joyner laughed at me. And I say that so much because that one did bother me for the simple fact Joyner has known me since like 2012, I think. I've been friends with him on Facebook that whole time. I would send him messages. He knows that I do a TV show. He knows that I used to imitate him growing up, that, it means a lot to me knowing that there was a black guy in the suit making Barney who he was, and the fact that I'm a black kid not seeing that representation, finding it out was important to me, all those things. And the minute I asked him to do an interview, he wouldn't respond to any of those messages, by the way. And then the minute I asked to do an interview, he's literally typed out, he didn't send me it's one thing to send me emojis and laughing at it. He typed out, ha, 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 and then never said anything else. Kalen got pins made from the documentary. I reached out to him and said, hey man, we want to send you one of these. He responded to that and then never acknowledged that he received it, that he was grateful for it, didn't say anything. So to end it, before we move on, I've made great friends throughout this Barney community, so I have nothing against Barney and the people on the show. Steve White, Fred Holmes, Bob Singleton, David Voss, Jess Nelson, Kyle Nelson. These are people I've been able to talk to. have been able to create like a relationship with, and I appreciate them just as much as I appreciate everyone else. But the reason why I hold them at a more important place for me is because they didn't make it seem like I wasn't good enough to come talk to, or we aren't good enough to talk to, or that they're better than us, but they go talk to whoever else about the same things. And so I think we're not bitter, and we don't feel like, offended by any of the comments you guys are saying, but I think anyone naturally would feel a kind of way about that. Especially, when the situation like Kaylin is saying happened to us, where someone from the show that we love and respect reaches out to someone completely different than us because we did something with them, and they tell them how they're doing such a great job, but we just became the other guys. You and the other guys are doing great. And it's like I don't know. We're in that climate now, though, where everything is about race. And I don't like making things about race, but we are in that climate where a lot more people are not masking how they actually feel about people. And a lot of these people come from a very conservative state. So it's not surprising that they would act the way that they do. It's just hurtful a little bit. But I don't know. If any of them are ever interested in talking to us or hanging out, we would always obviously invite them in to do that. We see that you guys always want us to talk to cast and crew members, and it's not us saying we don't want to, it's them not responding to us or telling us they will and then not showing up, that kind of thing. Someone has been saying this over and over again, and I want to address it, and then we're moving on. They keep asking for Jason Pleasant to come on here, and the answer is no. Not that we have anything against Jason, but we're not doing a lot of guests on this version anymore, because when we were doing that before, people either didn't want to show their face, people's Wi-Fi signals and things just are not good to withstand it, and some people just can't handle it, which is just the truth. And so it would take too much to try to wrangle people in order for us to get from point A to point B. So we love Jason. We Hedge watches is the play alongs. We talk about them all the time. But as far as a guest coming on here is most likely no. So you don't have to ask. You've said that like 12 times, so we don't need to do that again.
Oh, I guess let me also clear my air on it too, because I'm not bitter at all either. Like I said, I don't interview people. I'm not an interview person. I think it would be cool to be one. I would like to do that. It sounds fun, but like it's just strange. It's a very strange situation when it happens again and again and again with multiple different people over the course of a long time. That naturally, I feel like that will kind of cement in your head that like something is happening that maybe I don't know about, but like there's no way this is happening with every single person of this one section of a show or whatever. It's just kind of weird, just kind of strange. I have people that were part of Barney's production that will like all of my Instagram posts anytime I post something, and even view my stories, and then just won't follow me like at all. And I'm like, okay, are you just trying to keep distance? Like what's happening?
It's
here?
always when you share their stories, or like you share like a post of theirs, and then of course Instagram has that feature now where when someone shares your post or tags you in something, you can see their story without visiting their profile. It's like, okay, if you took that extra step and you know who I am, why do you just refuse or pretend
looking me up?
Exactly.
Well, this is something I completely forgot about. But Dean also slighted me too. Like I commented on like purposely on one of his things when he first was coming out on social media like a couple months ago through the Mr. K's Clubhouse page, and I told him like, hey, like you were an inspiration to me during my childhood. I do a children's show because of the work that you guys did on this series. I would love to talk to you more. And he gave it like the heart reaction and nothing else. Even when he first came out last year, he was on Twitter, I believe, saying that he wanted to get into Cameo and things like that. I commented to him twice and was like, hey man, I'm willing to help you out. I can help you figure out, how to do all those things. Just let me know. And he deleted both of my replies. So it's like
that's weird.
It's like we don't exactly know what the thing is. But we would just, I don't know, we would like to feel included, especially when we're talking about a series that is built on inclusion and those kind of things. But what we have come to realize, and I'm sure if you guys are friends with some of these people, you realize it too, that even though people work on series or shows or movies that have a specific message to them about positivity or whatever it is, doesn't always mean that's what they live by.
Yeah, everyone is special except the worst Barney.
And that's okay because everyone's entitled to however they want to do things, but it is kind of disheartening. Anyway, what was the other topic that we needed to talk about, Kaylin?
We can touch on this briefly, and then we can officially get to the home videos.
An hour and 15 minutes later.
That's very nice, Daniel.
That's very nice, Daniel.
That's very nice, Daniel. Now, Barney.
All right.
Wait, this is slightly related to what we're about to talk about with the home videos. In Super Singing Circus, they kind of did that where they were talking about the different things that they have at the circus, and then one of the kids was like, "Oh, well, I think our circus should be this kind of thing, this, that, and the third." And they do like a wide shot of all the characters, and Barney's literally like, "Okay, yeah."
Wait, for real?
All right.
Wait, what?
All right. Sure, we can
I
do
forget the kid's name, but I remember seeing that and being like, "That's literally what we do." Oh, yeah,
It was probably Emily because the
Big
story
Purple is, man, get out of here, bro. He's doing that because of Dean saying congratulations.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations!
I thought he was doing somebody.
Dean's congratulations has the same energy as the fish from
There was a
SpongeBob.
comment above Purple's, and I thought he was saying congratulations to the comment. That's why
I see. No. All right. Do we want to? I'll talk about my series thing at the end, if I don't forget.
So me and Karan were on the phone the other night, and
We were.
the subject of this I've kind of been hinting at for years, but I think it's time for us to really talk about publicly, and that is the question of why hasn't Barney been gifted or received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
And we found out the answer. Kaylin's making this very long, but we did find that answer out.
Which is what?
All right, moving on.
We're all broke. The way the Hollywood Walk of Fame works is the artist or the person does not get nominated for it. A team nominates them. So say like all of us got together and we said Barney deserves a star on the Walk of Fame. You have to pay for an application to be submitted to them for them to consider it. If they say, okay, yes, we'll do a star Walk of Fame for them, that team is not the word I'm looking for, but I can't think of the actual word right now. But those people then have to fund. Yeah, basically, those people have to then fund the cost of getting that star made and getting it put into the ground. So when you see Big Bird got a star on the Walk of Fame,
Bugs Bunny, Mickey Mouse,
Bugs Bunny, the people who are a part of that company and fans and whoever else, family, whatever, had to apply to nominate them for that. And then if the city of LA or Hollywood or whatever says yes, they then have to spend the money to get those things made and then put it into the ground. So it costs. It's very expensive to do the application. It's a few $100s, and then the actual star is a few $1,000s. And so it's like none of us have that money, and that's why Barney doesn't have. And it's strange to me. One, probably because Barney has been owned by multi-million-dollar companies since 2000. They don't actually care about his legacy. They care about how much money he can make for them, right? Because if they did, by now, if Barney was still under Lyric Studios, if they didn't sell that, I guarantee Barney would have a star on the Walk of Fame because they knew what they wanted to do with that character. They knew how important he was and what they wanted to do with him. Everyone else just saw him as a cash grab, which is why we got Barney's World, which is why bought Barney, because they bought Barney so that they can bring and help bridge Bob the Builder into the US. Mattel bought Barney by proxy because they wanted Thomas, but now they see that it's one of their biggest brands. Let's find a way that we can make more money off of them. So that's why it's different. Whereas Sesame Street is still a nonprofit. They get funds from places, but they're still a nonprofit at the core, right? They know and they care about the product that they created in the 50s. So while it would be great to have Barney on the Walk of Fame, we would have to raise that money and go through all of that. And we can submit the application, pay the hundreds of dollars, and they still say no. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's not really nothing we can do about it, because I'm not spending that much money on Barney.
Star itself, is it expensive because they have to like mold it and develop it? Because it's the same one for every single person who's
they have to get it engraved and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's the cost of engraving it. It's the cost of cutting it into whatever, because they're not like they don't go out and they don't pull up a square that's already out there, right? You would think that they do, but they don't. They make a completely wholly original one. So they have to cut that granite or whatever it is, then they have to engrave it, and then somebody has to go out and put that into the ground, and then you're also paying for the lifelong upkeep of it for the city to go out there and clean it. So you pay for all of that in one lump sum, and the ceremony is part of it, but you're paying for them to make that thing happen.
I mean, Barney's not going to get one, because if Barney were to get a star, then they'd have to show footage from the first few seasons, but they can't even afford that. Barney couldn't even get 25 million hugs. So he's not getting a star on the Walk of Fame.
But again, that speaks to... I'll go ahead.
Jalen, what you're talking about. So there's a video from 98 when they were promoting the movie. I forgot what it's called. It's a cafe, Planet Hollywood.
Yes, thank you.
Planet Hollywood. That when Barney's World, when Barney's Great Adventure was premiering, they had Barney like do one of those concrete put your feet in, so this could be like engraved and stamped forever. That is essentially what they do for the restaurant, because they also donated the farm outfit from the movie to that restaurant as like the display. So that footprint is not something for the Walk of Fame. That's something entirely different to help promote the movie, because the whole headline was Barney Goes Hollywood, right? Everybody was aware that Barney was a Texas production. Barney's Hollywood now, but yeah, that was something completely different.
But what is crazy to me, actually, what's crazy to me is Barney in 2007, Barney got a star on the Mexican Hollywood Walk of Fame. So in Mexico, their equivalent of the Walk of Fame, Barney has a star there. But we don't have one in America.
Where he was born and raised.
Yeah. But that goes to show you also that all other countries care more deeply and they celebrate more of U.S. work than the people in the U.S. do. Look at how big Michael Jackson was. He was huge here, but he was massive in other countries, right? Yep. And that happens with a lot of artists.
Did you see the one comment by the...
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. This man is... The Paseo de las Luminarias, I think is what it's called.
Period. Come on in, Barney.
And that was in 2007. We didn't even know about that. You see what I'm saying? But you know, it exists.
Was there? So I don't know. Andy, was there a ceremony for that?
Yeah, I think they said there's a video. There's a video showing the Spanish voice actor and a Barney mascot at the ceremony commemorating the character. I wonder if we can find it somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do with my own show. Is I'm trying to break it out into other countries, because I know that, I mean, think about it. Barney was canceled here for however long, and they were still making new original product in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because he was still very popular there, whether there was new shows coming out or not. He still is to this day. To this day. Anyway, we've been sitting here for an hour and a half. Let's talk about what we actually came here to talk about. And then we can all just go home. We're looking at
go home
2000. The videos from the 2000, our videos that we're looking at today are what are they? Coming Over to Barney's House, Rhyme Time Rhythm, Super Singing Circus, and Be My Valentine, Love Barney. Before we do our vote, let's talk about what are the things that we liked about this collection of Barney videos and why?
I like that they're each at a different place. Like all four, they all do something different or go somewhere different, which is very cool.
They all cover a different genre.
Yeah.
So yeah, like nursery rhymes, the circus, your house, and a holiday.
I like that Barney's house was part of the set.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite part.
So that's a clear favorite. We can go ahead and scratch that one out.
Even though they left us on a cliffhanger. And there's so much more to see in my house, and then you just never go back. And when you do, you're just in the living room. We already saw this.
What's your bathroom look like?
Twice. We've already been here.
May I please order a cheese pizza?
What else is there to do? But yeah, Barney's house obviously is one of the favorites. Once you get past the terrible CGI in the beginning, then you're off to a good start.
Scary.
Yeah,
CGI.
I'll never understand what it means nothing. It never
means
shows up.
nothing at all. It's like that is and these are the reasons why we need to talk to these people, because that is a question to be asked. What was the point? You did all of that for what? Like, it's not like you were doing a animated spinoff or anything. Like, why?
You can tell someone at Lyric made a 3D model of Barney for the very first time, and they say, "Hey, Cheryl," not Cheryl. They say, "Hey guys, look what I made. Like, we're gonna use that.
We're gonna use that
for 5 seconds."
But was that Lyric or was that Hit?
That was Lyric.
Lyric was still 2000.
Yeah,
I thought it was Mattel. Anyway,
all right.
And wait a minute. And
for the love of the game.
They used the season 3 opening visuals as like a fake out, as opposed to the fact that they've been gone from that for years.
They say it's a prank, but it's like, what? Ooh,
but what prank? Like, on what 3?
Right.
They don't even understand it. They don't even understand they just got pranked. Like,
because I'm still watching the tape. Like,
these are children. Like, they don't know.
I'm excited.
I didn't care. I didn't care that it was animated. I acted that part out as well when I was a kid. I just jumped in a circle and just did it anyway.
You used to.
I swear I did.
What are they?
It's so big. No, in the chat I sent there's a video of Barney being recognized again at the Plaza de las Estrellas in 2017.
Oh, he has that giant Barney head. Yeah, his head.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the feet.
They're sneakers.
Man, Mexico is so unserious, bro.
Yo, Hedge, go look at that. Sneakers.
What is this on YouTube?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to pull it up. Hold on.
Yo,
they're so unserious over there, man.
Oh my God.
They're just like, man, people still gonna think it's Barney.
That's funny as hell.
Basically.
Hold on, we're gonna show it to everybody else because it's a little rude for us to be laughing about a video we can't see.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. Oh man, that's funny as hell.
Oh no, why is he wearing overalls?
From Great Adventure.
Man, don't know if he want to be at the farm or what.
Barney's Terrible Adventure, the movie.
Terrible Adventure
in Spanish.
That's a Spanish boot. Yeah, that's the Spanish bootleg of
Barney y sus amigos.
Oh man.
Hold on, here we go.
And the thing is, I don't think the face looks bad. I just think the head is huge.
That's what she said.
He's got regular looking sneakers, size 9 sneakers.
I had feet reduction surgery.
Coming onto my house.
Ew.
Is he speaking?
It is so terrible.
The Spanish voice actor is there for sure.
Oh, he's speaking?
Yeah, he speaks.
He's got the mannerisms down. It's just the costume is terrible.
Advice for children. What can you tell children on their day?
What can you tell children on their day?
To have a great time, to play a lot, to always be kids, no matter how old they are.
It's on the auto English dubs thing.
Okay.
And
oh man,
to wash their hands before.
It's on the what?
So there's a setting that'll auto take videos that are in Spanish and make AI talk in English.
So how do you turn that off?
Yeah, how do you turn that off?
Audio track. Go back.
Audio track.
Eating their teeth well after eating. To always behave well and eat properly.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the shoes.
This man's at a farm. The other guy's at a circus. They just don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Look how nobody's even looking at him.
Hey, what
He
a
looks
chili
like-
better?
Anyway,
the
that's
Mr.
gross.
He looks like the Mr. Knickerbocker dude, and let's.
He does.
It does.
Oh, I don't know your name, but I sure like the way you boppity bop. You almost got it.
He sounds like
Somebody said, "Why you getting interviewed by yellow dude from Curious George?"
No, I was about to mention that too.
big yellow dude.
Yellow dude.
Not auto dubbed Barney. Yeah, that sucked. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Barney,
Well, I want everyone to
Barney
just
talking
use
like a
their
generic
imagination.
man. I was so
He was
confused by that. I was like, "What is
teach
happening?"
kids how to wash their hands.
I'm like, yo, what is that?
Always be good. Always have a good time.
All right, what are some other things that you guys enjoyed about this selection of home videos?
Well,
No.
It's so funny because two of these videos have two distinctive things that the production team originally planned for way back in the Backyard Gang era, actually. So with Rhyme Time Rhythm, that was originally a concept for a seventh Backyard Gang video, which was titled, I believe, Barney and the Land of Mother Goose or something like that. That was scrapped and whatnot, and a decade later, I guess you could say, they brought the concept back, which I thought was fascinating. And the circus video, when Emily's singing the Me and My Teddy song, the Teddy comes to life. I don't know if you guys ever saw that. Like, she sits the Teddy on the chair, and when the camera pans back over, the Teddy is big.
Yeah.
Of course, that is the original concept of what Barney what it was originally supposed to be. So yeah, just the different facets in that sort of thing. But also like the behind the scenes stuff as well. Like, I traditionally love to just watch the Valentine screener as opposed to the real video because of Bob Singleton's music. But yeah, there's just a fascinating behind the scenes and history stuff to it. I think it's pretty cool. Malakai, you mentioned earlier how they go to different places, so it doesn't seem like they're just at the school all the time. It very much feels like they put a lot of money into this. Not knowing at the time that whether or not they were going to continue with Barney, because Lyric and PBS, I believe, didn't renew their contract, so there was like a through line of like, okay, is this over? Is this stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, what else is there to say that we haven't said? Rhyme Time Rhythm. I love that Mother Goose set. I think that's one of the most gorgeous.
Nice.
So
Very
nice.
nice.
So nice. Same with the circus set. I mean, like all of these are just so fun. I mean,
wasn't that circus set the same one from Adventure Bus?
No, it could have been. Like, it's not uncommon that people like reuse sets or kind of like dress them up to look a little bit new. But I guess it's safe to say to assume so. On the DVD version of the circus video, there were 2 additional extras. So you get the scene from Live in New York, the whole entire circus scene, and also the circus scene from Adventure Bus. So they were essentially putting all of the circus stuff. That's right. So they're essentially combining all the eras of that time of whatever they did the circus theme into that
DVD
video.
quality too.
The DVD.
Crazy
Yep.
work.
Crisp.
But also too, you've even in the Rhyme Time Rhythm DVD, we got all the footage, the high quality DVD footage of the Mother Goose scene in Big Surprise too. They gave us that whole Mother Goose section as a bonus feature on there, so I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah. Come on over to Barney's house. I would like to assume that many would believe that is a top 5, if not top 3, Barney's home video. Just the
Top
production
5.
value they put in, it's debatable, but I mean, at the end of the day, just knowing that what we were teased for, and just everything they just put their blood, sweat, and tears, and just changing it up and potentially having that be the new setting for a new show, I thought would have been very interesting. And Valentine's, I don't watch that often because it's a holiday special. Like, you watch that leading up to the holiday. If you don't, that's fine. But just to get in that sort of like lovey-dovey mood, I think that's a great video for. So yeah.
Yeah.
Isaiah says, I think they destroyed the school set after rhyme time. The rest of the run, they were in the treehouse. I believe so too. I think what happened is Come On Over to Barney's House was very obviously a pilot for the new series. The next iteration of Barney was supposed to take place at Barney's house. So the way it opened and all those things is, had PBS greenlit, or had the company greenlit them to go to Barney's house for the next, it wasn't going to be Barney and Friends. It was going to be called Barney's House. Had they agreed to that refresh, that's how those episodes would have opened and everything, with like the kids building the house, all of that stuff. I think that they knew that Barney was over at that point and didn't know exactly where it was going to go, because I don't think they had sold to hit yet, but they knew that, I think season 6 effectively was the end of Barney, and they were trying for 2 different shows, right? They were trying to do the animated BJ show, and they were trying to do Barney's house. I don't know, I might be wrong. I think PBS said they didn't want the Barney's house like spinoff or whatever, and they signed them on to do more. They signed them on to do, by the time Hit bought them, PBS had an agreement with for Barney and Friends to be made all the way up through 2007. That was their next agreement. So they decided to just revert back to Barney and Friends, and then the question became, okay, where are we going to move it to? When Hit comes in, that's a brand new company, just like with Mattel. Their whole goal, when a new company comes in and takes over something, their entire goal is, what do we change? So it was inevitable that they would not stay at the school, even though that set was most likely gone by then. It was just deciding, okay, what are we going to do next? And so that's where those new conversations came in. Barney and Friends was never going to have a Barney house set. That was for an entirely different show. And I think because they had built that set, did that pilot home video, it made sense to do those 2 other clip shows there, because you can use that set before you just destroy it, especially when you find out, nope, they don't want us to use this. You don't just let your money go to waste from building that set, and then you go back to the drawing board. So I would have really loved to see a Barney's House series. I think that it would have allowed a lot more imagination and things to happen. We would have saw them rely a lot on CGI, which effectively them not doing that and sticking to the roots of Barney and Friends probably was a benefit, because I'm sure it would have looked very dated by now if they went that route. But it would have been exciting to see something new. The same as I feel like after Barney ended, season 15 was supposed to take place in effectively what Bob LaValle considered Barney's world, bringing you into the world that Barney came from, versus Barney being in the real world with everybody else. That also would have been exciting. So we've missed out twice on seeing more of what Barney's place would have been like. Isaiah says Cheryl was a consultant on season 7, correct? She was not. People have said that. People have, I think Steve might have said that she did a video for the intermission, I think, for Colorful World.
Colorful World. That is true.
That is true. She doesn't remember it, but it's true. But she wasn't a consultant. She had no per what I heard from Cheryl, is she had no input in what the next iteration of Barney was going to be, or any of that. She wasn't a part of it being sold. She wasn't a part of where they moved that show and what they did with it afterwards.
Basically, her role, if you want to call it that, was, hey, we're bringing the show back. They want us to keep the format, but go into a new setting. We're thinking about an abandoned train station and like a children's center or something like that. What are your thoughts? And she said, no, let's do a park. That just makes sense. Let's just do a park.
But
and they said, okay.
But what I heard was she didn't even have input with that. Like they landed on the park thing themselves. And it could be that she's just old now and she doesn't remember, but she said that she had no input at all with what they did with Barney. She wasn't a part of, after she left the series, after the Great Adventure movie, she has not had a hand in that series since then. And again, maybe she's just old, maybe she doesn't remember, but that's at least the story that she has. And so I'm not going to argue with the lady because I don't know, nor do I actually care.
She don't know either. What's
so special about the fact that she was there saying, let's move it to a park? Who cares? You know, it effectively did nothing. That's not really important. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to know these days because everybody that was a part of that show are all effectively getting older. They're forgetting things, or their memory is of certain things, but it's kind of distorted because they're combining multiple years. So you never really know for sure. Didn't they keep the treehouse set for Round and Round? Yeah, all of the home videos after this set that were set at the school was all in the treehouse. And they were only there for like 5 minutes and then they left. And the rest of the video was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Also,
Rhyme Time Rhythm, I think, was the last one with the schoolyard.
Cool.
Yes, it was. Well, we saw a little bit of the yard and circus, just a little bit.
Just BJ standing on the grass.
Yeah, that was all we saw. Super Singing was the first time we got Tim, and we got Duncan back.
That was so sad.
That was Bob Singleton's. That was Bob Singleton's last video, the circus one. Which is.
I wanted to.
Ryan
ask
said,
you guys.
I'm go
sorry. Ahead. Because which one was it? Was it Rhyme Time? Was in this set? Was there a video that Bob did where he dubbed over someone else?
No.
I think for some reason, I think Rhyme Time, it might have been that one where it looked like the Dino Sync was kind of weird, and it almost looked like Bob was trying to match someone else's inflection.
Hedge, I think I know what you're talking about, and it might be the opposite. So there's a blooper reel. It's easy accessible. You can find it on YouTube. So while they were filming the additional portions for this home video, everybody knows that half of this special came from a Barney and Friends episode from season 6, and the other half was original content. While they were recording the new stuff, that was of course like Bob's final, production credit. So that was his last, video or thing ever to do in that space. But as he's reciting the Jack and Jill poem or whatever, nursery, you can hear Tim instead of him. So it may be that they wanted to keep the voice consistent, but Bob had already left. So they bring in Tim and they're like, you know what? We still want to use this like first portion from the episode. So let's just have Bob just kind of like dub over some stuff. Because they originally planned for Bob to keep being Barney while he, transitioned over to LA, but he was like, no. So it might have very well been like, okay, Tim, you're going to do a great job, but for right now, we're just going to have Bob double your lines. And then we'll move on to you being the official voice. But I could be totally wrong on that front.
I think I wasn't expecting Bob to not be in this set. I knew it was going to happen.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So when I was running through the video, Super Singing Circus was the first one that I started with. And the Tim Dever jump scare was something I was not really expecting. And I think I realized that it's because I love Tim Dever's Barney, but I noticed an inverse of what I noticed with Dean and Carrie, where David Joyner is just over energetic as Barney, as he always is. But then Tim's voice as Barney is not matching that all that well. It's like he's joyful as Barney, but like it's not hitting the heights of what David's doing in the costume a lot of the time. And I'm hearing it as Bob doing the voice, and like how it would sound different, and it's just like not there. And it feels like I'm
He's
kind of
a
missing.
little more suppressed. Now Duncan is more hype than Tim. Definitely. When Duncan's singing, oh, he's up there for sure. You can even hear it like in the Barney Rocks album. Duncan was putting that work in. But Tim is definitely he gives like, oh, hey guys, let's go to
Hedge, are you talking about the Barney.com promo? You said the jump scare, and I'm like, what do you, huh?
No. When Barney came to life in Super Singing Circus, I was expecting Bob to be.
Oh, okay.
And that was Tim, the first time we hear Tim, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
because the first time I heard Tim was that promo when he was like, "Be sure to check out my website" or something like that, and I'm like, "That's not Bob."
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, I was not expecting. I was like, okay, I guess this is a Tim video. It's fine.
I want to highlight this, and then we should vote. Orion said, I heard that if Barney had continued for another season, they were going to give him a head swivel. And that is true. That's what Karen Barnes. Yes, that's what Karen Barnes was fighting for, was for him to have longer arms, for him to have brown pupils, and then for his head to be able to turn. So he could be able to look to his sides and stuff, which I think is obviously every idea Karen had for Barney was a terrible one.
They would have made him like those.
I think it was escape. Those like poles with the. What are you talking about?
Like the dragons that operate with like 5 people.
Oh yeah.
I
think part of it was a way, and this is just me assuming. I don't really know. I think part of it to introduce an idea of his head being able to turn. Some of it could have came from the lack of acting Carrie did. You notice Carrie, especially by the end, he would not turn and talk to anybody. He would say lines to people as they're behind him. And so, how do we fix this? Let's just let him be able to turn his head. You see what I'm saying? Like BJ and Baby Bop and Riff.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's exactly what. When BJ and Baby Bop comes in the caboose in one of the season 13 episodes, he says hi to them, but he doesn't even turn to them. They're like behind him, and he's just talking to them while they're trying to like get to the front. So I don't know if that was part of it, but yes, they wanted to give him longer arms. They wanted to give him brown eyes and make his head be able to turn.
Well, they eventually got 2 of those. Actually, 3 of those, because Barney can turn his head.
They didn't. That's not what they agreed on. That's what Karen was proposing. With her being the producer or whatever, it would have happened, I'm sure, because she was producing the show. But yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. Someone else said, I think I highlighted it at first. They were saying that them getting rid of the school was a good idea because it forced the writers then to become imaginative again, having to send them somewhere because you don't have, the school or treehouse. You had the treehouse, but you know what I mean? It forced them to then give them something imaginative. I don't know what part you guys are talking about in Rhyme Time Rhythm, but that video was made. Huh?
Outtakes. I just checked all the runtime outtakes. That's not true.
That video was made though. Somebody said they think that you might be thinking of an outtake from Pajama Party, where you could hear Tim because Tim was the voice of Barney in that. I don't know.
There was a scene where he was reading off nursery rhyme because that was a compilation video.
I don't know what you guys.
Yeah, I just looked through all the Rhyme Time specific, all those outtakes, but I didn't hear Tim.
All I know is that season 6 episode. You are remembering it backwards. So they did the home video in '99, and then they cut it down to be the episode for PBS. They didn't shoot the episode for PBS and then add to it.
Oh, okay.
Steve had said that it would have been very expensive to do that video. It became cheaper to do it by taking the home video budget and the PBS budget if they made it into a PBS episode. So they shot the home video and then they cut it to where it, just like they did with Jungle Friends and Let's Go on Vacation, where they shot those home videos and then they found a way to make a 30-minute episode from it. And that became, and that's probably why we got those 2 videos in season 13. Now I'm thinking about it. Their budget was short. So if you combine PBS's budget with home video budget, because those are 2 different budgets if they're not appearing on PBS, then you have a better chance to build those kind of sets that were far more expansive than anything Hit was doing at the time. Speaking of, this has nothing to do with anything, but then we can vote. I've been looking through newspaper stuff, and I saw. I'll have to show you guys. There was a TV guide for I think Fox. I want to say back,
Fox
when cable when cable had like the movie channels that you could watch, movies or whatever on. I think it was Fox. I have to relook, but they aired Barney's Great Adventure and Sing and Dance with Barney on TV. Do you guys ever know this?
You said Sing and Dance with Barney aired on TV
and Great Adventure.
I knew
on
about
the Fox channel.
I knew about. Yes, I did know about Sing and Dance, but I thought that it only aired for a pledge drive and they cut it in half.
Let me see.
I didn't know the full thing. The full
yeah,
thing.
and it wasn't PBS.
Okay.
It was. I think it was Fox. I'm gonna see because I did a screen grab of it.
I'll never.
I was like, oh, this is cool.
I'll never forget growing up, and I remember when Great Adventure aired on HBO Family when cable was a thing, and scrolling. Literally, my dad. It was a Sunday. I will never forget it. Finding something to watch, and Barney's Great Adventure was just on. Like, and it was just there was one movie on, and it was about to start, and I was like, wait, this is on TV. Like, this movie is on TV. It never comes on TV. Like, that was cool.
It used to come on.
It was Sing and Dance, Big Surprise, and Great Adventure that aired on whatever this channel is.
Interesting.
Stars. It was Stars, not Fox.
That's what I was just saying. Yeah, Stars is broadcast that a lot. I used to record it. And my mom used to be like, "You have the video here." I'm like, "I don't care. I want to watch it on cable."
Yeah, because it was on Stars too. Yeah.
All right. I start filming our show tomorrow, so it's been almost 2 hours. Let's do the rest of this, so I don't have to be on here no more. I have to be up super early all week to shoot.
Yes, let's hurry so I can get on out too.
All right. So let's just go. So we're looking at Rhyme Time Rhythm, Super Singing Circus, Barney's Big Surprise, Sing and Dance with Barney, and Come On Over to Barney's House. What is your guys' worst? First of all, those are not the home videos. I thought one of you were going to correct me. Come On Over to Barney's House, Super Singing Circus, Rhyme Time Rhythm, and what was the final one? What's the fourth one?
Be My Valentine.
Be My Valentine. Yes. There we go. Thank you, Caroline. I'm glad you're here.
It goes to show that we just weren't focused.
Not at all.
I'll go first.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Oh, you sure?
First of all, this is the third person I've seen.
So you don't know what we're talking
about. My vote is gonna be Valentine. It's
Valentine.
Cool, it's yeah, it's cool, it's cute, but I think it's seasonal. I don't watch that video. I don't run to that video. I think the other ones are better. I just think they're cooler. The Valentine's, it's cute. I think Valentine and Barney is a great thing, and I wish they did that more. Wish they even implemented it in the show itself. But I think it's seasonal, and I think it's slow.
It is kind of slow. Like they take so much time to get to the palace, and then they get there, and then it's so much time before the party starts. They're essentially just touring the castle.
Like, exactly.
Then they have a party for 2 minutes, and everybody goes
literally.
Back to
They sung like they sung London Bridge and the fun song, and they went home. What the hell?
That is kind of annoying. That the whole premise of the video was going to a Valentine's Day party. And the party happened at the last 2 minutes of the video, and then they went back and sang "I love you" and just went home.
It is odd. They've only touched on Valentine's Day, to our knowledge, twice. This video,
that sing along thing with Dorothy.
Well, okay. Well, there's the book, there's this video, and I don't count the "I Love Me Too" special. That's something entirely different. Even though they did drop it on Valentine's Day,
talk about Valentine's Day.
There is a Valentine's Day episode that is way better than that special, I will say. But now I'm a little conflicted because you make a great point, Malakai.
I put that bowl thing down.
Barney's in the house. It's a party every week, baby.
I was gonna say Singing Circus because I like the circus. I like circus imagery.
Bro, get rid of that. I'll wait. This man kissed the back of his head.
I like the circus. I like circus imagery, but I feel like they touched on that subject or theme way too much. It was just like okay, we're doing a whole video on this.
I get it.
Oh,
as an adult, I can understand it. As a kid,
I wasn't paying it no mind. Yeah,
as a kid, kids love the circus. Kids love animals and the farm and the zoo and these things. So some of those repeated themes, one, they were being repeated, but a whole new generation of kids were watching the shows at those times. But then two, those are some of the easiest themes to repeat because that's what kids love. Kids love the circus. So going to the circus and Radio City made sense. Going to the circus and Adventure Bus makes sense. Doing a whole video on circus, makes sense. But I could see as adults, as we're looking back at it, it's like, man, they just kept doing this. They kept going to Mexico. They kept going to farms or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well,
but I can see from their point of view.
You can't necessarily say that though, because not every kid likes the circus. Like, there's that whole phobia of clowns.
That's because they're punks. Yeah, never met a kid who didn't like the circus. My grandma used to take her daycare kids to the circus every single year for like 20 years. And every kid, no matter what age they were, was wowed by seeing the animals or seeing the motorcycles and like the ball or whatever it was. Like, yeah, and you're absolutely right. There's certain kids who don't like the circus, but there's also certain kids who don't like the zoo or don't like the farm or don't like whatever else it is. But the general consensus of kids enjoy those things. So it's easy to do those topics.
That's true. But I mean, like, I love Barnum and Bailey, right? I love Ringling Brothers. I love Cirque du Soleil, all that other stuff, right? Even though Cirque du Soleil is not really a circus.
It's circus-y, it's acrobat.
Right. But again, with this, they did it. It was so done to death where I'm like, okay, why are we still doing this? Even like in the hit years, they did it maybe twice, maybe 3 times. I'm like, oh,
they did touch on circus and hit. I'll give you that. But again, I don't think
they only did it once, didn't they?
It was a few times they did.
Read with me, dance with me. There was a circus scene.
One.
They did one in the Riff era too.
Yeah.
But they didn't do the circus in the Riff era, did they?
Yeah, they did.
They touched on
the episode where BJ lost the tickets.
Yeah.
But they didn't go to the circus. They talked about it was the underlying premise for the reason why the tickets got lost.
Do you not remember when they stopped the episode just to dress up and then sing about their little circus thing?
Come sit down.
That's basically them, their version at the circus. I don't know.
I just want to point out that Malakai was playing a Nintendo DS Lite with no DS cartridge in the system. My thing. Okay, gotcha. I thought that was very strange.
He uploaded a new reel on Instagram. Is it him? Hey, remember this one? And then it's Selena.
I just watched a new episode of the Worst Barney home video, and let me tell you.
Yeah, right.
I don't like those guys.
yeah, right. All right, Hedge, you said, or not Hedge, I'm sorry, Malakai, you said Be My Valentine?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Who's voting next? I think it was on you, Kaylin. Which one do you vote?
Yeah, I was originally going to go circus, but I think I'm with Malakai, Be My Valentine. It's just, like you said earlier too, Karan, they just take way too long. Wow.
We just said it. Remember this?
Hey, remember this one?
We just said it. Oh my God. We just said this. Dummy. Yo.
Look who commented.
Let me see. Jonathan Langdon commented. Yo.
Man, what is happening right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I bet they watched the stream and was like, yeah, we're about to show them. We can talk to each other.
He said you brought timeless magic to that show.
Man,
sir.
All right. Anyway, then that's Be My Valentine. Hedge, what say you, bro?
Easy. Super Singing Circus. Can I tell you, I was so bored. I was so
really
bored with
wow.
It's 50 minutes and they get to the circus mad early. They're doing
they have to set it up.
Well, they do, and they set it up.
That's the whole notice. That's the whole point of it.
One thing that's a terrible thing then. One thing that I will say,
He's so serious.
one thing that I will say that I liked a little bit. Did you guys notice how the very first Barney video that got officially released was the backyard show where they're setting up a show, they're putting a show together? How many times during the Lions era they do that? They do it with backyard show, Rock with Barney, talent show. They do it with this. I just like that Barney was kind of founded on that idea, like using imagination to put a show together. That being said, this was an entirely boring slog. I was so sick. Nothing was happening. I think what I liked about what I liked about Live in New York City at the very least was that there was an underlying plot going on with the Winster, and they were still putting up a show with that happening. It felt like with Super Singing Circus, nothing was really happening. And I don't know. I think the song selection was a little bit.
You guys have all missed the plot. You're all wrong in your choice.
Well, the problem is that there was no plot.
The problem was that was the plot.
There was no plot.
You're just not appreciative. That's the problem.
She wanted to go to the circus, and we did that for 50 minutes, and they went, "Oh, well, that was pretty cool." Anyways, I'm glad that this is what you guys have. I'm glad this is your guys' vote because I haven't had the chance to tell you guys that you're wrong in a very long time. But all three of you are absolutely wrong in the choices that you made. I understand that we're here to vote as for our own personal opinions, but also opinions can be wrong. And I just want you guys to know if we're talking about a Barney movie that just takes way too long and is just too boring, how do you skip over Rhyme Time Rhythm?
That one wasn't boring to me though.
It took too long to get to Mother Goose's house, and then they run around and dance with gooses and do all these rhymes, and then you come back to the park again, and then you're there forever trying to get Emily's stupid ass to learn how to write a poem again. Like, bro, it's the worst. It's the worst Barney had. She was really good. It's the worst Barney home video to have be shortened down to an episode in the entire series.
You're not wrong.
It is so boring. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's so boring. Also, you guys are talking. No. Wait. You guys are talking about. You're talking about. Oh no, Barney keeps reusing the same things. They keep going to the circus. They did. I will say. How many times did this white chick in this blue dress show up? And they always acted like it was the first time they've seen this girl. Every single time. Let's help Mother Goose. It was different every time they let a honk a goose on the loose. Big surprise. This one, it's like, bro.
But it was
Mother Goose is not a fun character. She's fun for one or two. After that, it's like, man, this gets old.
You're okay. So I'll give it to you where you're not wrong.
I can't even hear you. My headphones aren't on.
I feel like Rhyme Time Rhythm hides behind nursery.
Hold on. You feel Rhyme Time Rhythm what?
No. That's okay. God. That's okay. What we was texting about before this? Yeah. Hang that shit up. Yeah.
I call it key locks.
Let the record reflect.
That's my car.
People are going to come to the stream, see us arguing and fighting
right here.
And the topic is Barney's Super Singing Circus and Rhyme Time Rhythm. Just let the record reflect. Did you guys hear that? That's and also carry on. What did you 360?
Yes. Rhyme Time Rhythm. But I will say
this is why the guy
hides behind. They do hide behind the rhymes and stuff. It's like really long and dragged up. But you can't, like, I don't know. It was just certain stuff that had it for me. Like when they first got there, Land of Mother Goose, that mug hit. Oh my God, that mug hit, man. What?
Yeah, okay. The other thing that we always talk about is for me and you, Malakai, is what makes a good Barney movie is based off the song selection. They had great songs in there. I always get bored with nursery rhymes. I don't want to hear Old King Cole. I don't want to hear Hickory Dickory Dock. I don't want to hear
I agree.
What is it? The clock, whatever it is. The clock struck one.
Hickory
Dickory. I don't want to hear those.
I agree.
We've heard them so many times, and you guys are talking about a slow Barney movie. You're talking about something that's reused over and over again. Kayla was just glazing this stupid movie because Backyard Gang almost did it, but Backyard Gang understood. No one cared.
Okay, I wasn't glazing. I was pointing out the fact that they almost
Call
did
it what
it.
you want.
Now imagine how I felt watching
All I'm
Super
saying
Singing
is-
Circus, which is just the lyric version of the Backyard Show for 50 minutes.
You are a liar. Your
It is
talent
fine.
show is
Oh,
the
you
might be
Backyard
lying
Show.
there. Sorry.
You are a liar.
Yeah,
Anyway,
talent show is
you
more
guys
so backyard show than that.
you guys vote. Rhyme Time Rhythm is boring. It takes too long, and the episode that it got cut down to sucks. Also, it's one of the worst
The
episodes. I voted for
suck.
that for when we talked about season 6. It was the worst episode that season.
For real?
Yes, because you don't get to go to Mother Goose's land
For
in
real?
that episode. You cut out all of the actual good parts of that, but it doesn't change the fact that it takes too long to get there, and then it's over too quickly.
Well, Karan, you might be wrong on this front because numbers don't lie, and
Oh, they lie. Drake is better than MJ. They lie.
Everybody give me
They
a
lie
two
for
in the chat.
for a fact. And
Give me a-
I'll tell you what, I don't care if you guys side with me or not. I know what's the right answer. I have to put the answer in on the bracket. So
Everybody type 2 in the chat.
he's
it's not
rigging
two.
this election, folks.
It's it's not
I
two
just-
by a long
I
shot.
don't.
Be My Valentine, I can agree with only because it's holiday, like you guys are saying. Same with the Christmas ones and things like
Halloween
that.
party.
But at the same time,
But
Rhyme Time Rhythm is actually the
I-
boring one. You have to
I
type
feel
the
like I
number,
just-
Caroline.
I disagree though because I can.
I don't care if you disagree. You're wrong.
I can watch Night Before in July. I don't care. I'm not gonna watch Be My Valentine in June, and I'm not gonna watch Halloween Party in December. So yes, of course it's boring. I hope
Who's
it
doing the
like
dirty?
catches on fire like mine.
It catches on fire.
Hey,
You guys
didn't Fred Holmes recently reveal how Steven was able to lift Barney?
He did,
did.
but he didn't go to a podcast that never mind. My bad, Malakai. I don't know.
If you know the
I
number
forget
that
this
comes
thing.
after the number
I can't
one,
wait till they
put it in
can
the chat.
give us an option to move this.
Towards the center.
Somewhere other than where it's at.
It's all good. You don't bang with me. It's cool.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Because
You don't bang with me. You don't piss this man off.
what is happening? They take Rhyme Time Rhythm too far, and I feel sorry for that home video. It's the worst one. All of the above. Jaden, just stop.
Do you guys
It's
like
not the
how
worst one.
in Super Singing Circus, BJ was like, "Hey, Scooter, what are they doing?" And Scooter's like, "Oh, they're having a circus. Oh, I want to be part of the circus." And then he gets off the steps from the treehouse and then just yells at them.
Look at this man trying to rig the election.
Going up to the
Look at
treehouse.
him. Trash. Trash. Let me hold on. Let me block him real quick.
You need to block that Wi-Fi. bro.
Hedge, thank you for mentioning Scooter. Fun fact, this video was supposed to have the one and only Scooter plush, which was going to be a promo item for a select
Hold on,
circus
real quick,
theme
real quick, bro. It doesn't give you more options. Just stop pressing number one. We see that you chose number one. It's been registered.
one.
It doesn't
One.
change anything. Just
One.
stop. My bad. Go ahead and talk about the plush no one cares about.
Oh my god! Stop it! I'm so sorry.
I assumed, bro.
No, I think it's on the Barney Wiki. I'm not entirely sure, but I've seen the image before. It was like the circus theme box. You get like a small Barney, a small BJ, and what they were planning for was the one and only Scooter plush that was going to be
Yeah,
available.
there we go.
Ugh.
Actually,
The plush is officially called the one and only Scooter plush. It says it on the packaging.
the one and only Scooter plush.
One and only Scooter plush. That never came to fruition for some reason.
Rita, Rodi, Rita.
I just want to say that
I think you said enough.
I'm hurt in the fact that you
agree.
guys don't have good judgment. It really bothers me. And
Your
unfortunately,
Wi-Fi.
I've aligned myself with you guys for far too long that if I wanted to disassociate myself, it would be hard for me. So
Your Wi-Fi connection is bothering us.
Hey, say what you want to say. It's not mine. It's the office's.
Well, get it fixed.
That's why my suit's not deflated in a corner.
I could just go undeflate that hoe. What you mean? Come on
Play
in.
Nintendo
Hey, stop it! You're tearing this family apart.
Come on. Come on.
Come on
All
in.
All right.
Oh my God, no. Hedge, I feel like you got to.
It will be chosen. I'm confident as I type, it'll be chosen.
You feel what?
I said I feel like you had the henshin device on your chest, and you just didn't do it for us, and that wasn't right.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
What is happening?
You had the. Never mind.
Okay. First of all, there's 44 people watching this, and 20 of you have voted. Man, the rest of y'all vote. Stop being shadow watchers, bro. Choose 1, 2, or 3. Type. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you guys didn't. There might be some of you who hasn't been here before. To vote, you just type 1, 2, or 3, whichever one you think is the worst one, in the chat, and it'll automatically calculate up there. But there's 20.
What are you doing?
What is it? There's 27 more of you in here that have not voted. Please vote. Help us out. Let's figure this out. If you've already done it, it's already been counted. It doesn't change if you've already done it before.
Just as long as you have proof of American citizenship, you can vote.
No, you cannot.
Clearly, Caitlin has an obsession with everything no one else likes. Donald Trump, Barney's World, Jonathan Langdon.
You're just mad because you're wrong tonight.
He definitely.
Oh no, I'm not wrong. I'm not
usually
wrong.
Him and I usually agree. I think he's wrong. I think you're very wrong tonight.
Listen,
Yep.
It doesn't matter what you think. I know that you guys are wrong. It doesn't matter what the numbers end up being. Numbers do lie.
Yes,
And,
I beat it. Oh. I'm sorry.
Yes, I beat it.
I'm on in. Roddy.
No one wants to be
I just
defeated.
put 200 on my chain.
Yeah, that was me. I was in the game. Is that flushed away from the game?
Roddy and Rita.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was gonna be like Spider-Man or something.
All right, well.
Ding, 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 ding.
I can't believe Rhyme Time Rhythm is last.
I don't know.
Dang, it is last. They don't bang with you.
Look at the group.
We all fall silent.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway. All right. What do we have for our list? So far we have I Love True with Barney. We have Barney's songs. We have Once Upon a Time, right? Barney's Sensational Day. Barney's Halloween Party. Hold on, I gotta check the actual thing. I can't remember.
And Barney's 4th of July party.
Barney's Independence Day. That's the one where Josh
Will
caught on
Smith.
fire. Yeah. Oh man. Peekaboo. That's what that picture said.
I'm just.
I know. He's literally eating my chair because I'm on a street.
Hey yo. Stop screaming, baby. Roddy, Rita, are you all right?
Barney go see the Declaration of Independence signed.
Barney's national treasure.
Friend Thomas Jefferson.
He's
I don't
still
know.
Barney's 4th of July with Will Smith is such a wild concept.
Now everybody knows.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
He sound like...
All right,
So,
so
Barney, I have this idea, right?
right. And the concept is one of the greatest concepts
known to man.
so
Woo, ha
Okay, so we have I Love to Read with Barney. We have Barney songs, Once Upon a Time, Sensational Day, Halloween Party, Sing and Dance with Barney, and Be My Valentine, Love Barney as what's on our list so far. That is where we're at. Thank you guys who voted. I appreciate it. Next time we're looking at the videos that came out in 2001. So Dino Dancing Tunes, Let's Go to the Zoo, and Barney's Pajama Party. So it's not an easy one because it's not just one clip show there. We have 2 clip shows for that one. So that's what we're going to look at next. Hedge, have you seen all 3 of those?
Name them again.
Dino Dancing Tunes, Let's Go to the Zoo, Pajama Party.
Zoo, yes. The other 2, no.
Would you like to watch one of them? They're clip shows. Dino Dancing Tunes is not a clip show of it's a clip show of home videos. At the time that it had came out, we had seen clips from videos like Beach Party and You Can Be Anything, which hadn't been released until the year after. Pajama Party is a clip show of season 6.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Let's do Dino Dancing Tunes. It's only 30 minutes. It's more fun than just watching episodes, like episode clips. So we can get through it quicker.
Hey Barney, you should use that Barney bag. Yeah, right. No, we're not falling for that again.
He looks like Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson.
What is happening? Oh my God.
Are you why are you
I'm about to say somebody cleaning up in there.
That's the cat. The cat getting down with the litter box.
Going to the bath, just knock it off.
All right, cool. What do we need to talk about before we're done? Anything?
Oh, your new series.
Talk about your series and that's it.
Okay, yeah, sure. For those of you who haven't seen, I'm starting a new series called Perfectly Purple. It's from PBS to pop culture. So I'm looking at all of the different pop culture references that were in according to or pertaining to Barney or the series or that kind of thing. So looking at animation, movies, TV shows, music, all across the board, comic books, anywhere that Barney might have appeared, whether it was by a direct parody of, or it was either a direct parody or you like actually seen him. If you've seen the teaser trailer, like there's a clip from the TV show Ted where there's a kid there in a Barney costume. Some clips of like Sesame Street where you see Barney in like a classroom just sitting or those kind of things. So it's going to be a multi-part series. The first episode will air the last Friday of this month, June 26th, on my YouTube. It's called Everybody Knew Barney. That one's just we're laying the groundwork for what the series will be. We'll talk about a couple references, but really just give an idea of what the show is going to be about. And then I don't know how often the episodes will come out because I'm researching as I'm doing it, then writing, then I have to edit and do all of those things. But you can see a teaser trailer right now on my YouTube channel, this one that you're tuned into. If you're interested in that, I thought it was something cool that no one else has done yet. I know that people have kept track a little bit of some pop culture references, not all of them. But no one else has made videos on it or done that kind of thing. I'm not going heavily into the Barney bashing and all of that stuff. Just really looking at places where Barney was mentioned or referenced or parodied, not necessarily looking at all of the like negative stuff. But yeah, if you guys have references or things that you know about that you like or would like to see covered, send me a message, comment on that video, and I'll consider, they might already be part of what I'm going to be talking about. But we're going to just see how many dino prints is what I'm calling it, we can find across these past 30 plus years that Barney has been part of the public eye. So obviously a lot of people know about Animaniacs. Baloney and Kids was like the most direct parody, and it was one of the earliest because it was done in '93. Barney had just premiered on PBS in '92, so that was one of the most obvious ones. But there's a lot of other places that Barney shows up. If you look at my Instagram, on my YouTube, or in Barney History Fans, you'll see the thumbnail for it. I blurred out the pictures for right now because I want to keep those references a secret. But as we get closer to that episode, you'll see the full picture. But yeah, we're going to talk about all of it. At the end of each episode, there's also going to be honorable mentions or ones where I'm not necessarily sure if they're Barney, but they look like they could be, and that that leaves the floor open for discussion. But it should be a fun series that I'm starting. I hope you guys will tune into it and enjoy it. If you're a member on my channel, you will get those episodes early before everybody else. So if you would like to be a part of that, I invite you to do that. Otherwise, you would see it when it's made public for everybody else. But yeah, that's all that I got for now, at least. I don't want to, there's so much I can talk about with it, but I don't want to give things away before the episodes come out. So yeah, one episode Stewie had a Barney pin. Yep, and Family Guy.
Yeah, he also
Dinosaurs, of course, had several. Yeah,
he also took a jab at Jason for no reason.
Yeah, they did.
He was like, well, let's see if the kid with the hearing aid from Barney can do this or whatever.
Yeah. And that's something that I talk about in this very first episode, is the idea that a lot of this series is not, you will find out that a lot of times they weren't even parroting or talking about Barney. They were talking about supporting characters like one of the other dinos or the kids. And that, I think, tells you more about how important, even though they don't give them the credit, how important that series was to pop culture. The fact that sometimes, if you are parroting a certain character, it's just that character, not any of the supporting characters or people who weren't the main. But we saw with Barney that they knew other characters like Jason or Baby Bop or those kind of things. So we're really looking at it as a whole, why it's such a popular thing to reference, and then obviously giving the show the respect that no one really gives it, even though it's one of the main children's shows that people reference and talk about. So yeah, that's all I got for now. June 26th is the first episode, so yeah, tune in to it if you guys would like.
And
then I can't believe it just turned into drama last minute. I blame Hedge. He started it. That's funny. All right, everybody. That's all that I have. Do you guys have anything else, folks?
No.
Anthony says, I personally have never seen the other characters referenced in anything, so that's interesting. Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be really fun. All right, guys, that's all that we have tonight. We'll be here in 2 weeks for the next part. Otherwise, subscribe or follow all of our channels. Join us on History Fans if you aren't a part of that. If you are, we're revitalizing that and making it hopefully more fun and engaging. So please engage with us there. But until then, we will see you on the next one. Peace. Wow. See you.